Held on violation of Shinjuku Station's anti-nuisance ordinance, the defendant of this appeal is active duty officer Akihiro Ihara. He was previously convicted and sentenced to 6 months. However, the defense wholly rejects the sexual battery charge and asserts his innocence.
The prosecution points to 2 pieces of evidence to prove the defendant guilty. One is the security camera footage from Ikebukuro to Shinjuku Station. The other is fiber traces from the victim's undergarments on the defendant's hand. The defense maintains this was not sufficient evidence to issue a guilty verdict. We have prepared counter-arguments to each piece of the prosecution's evidence.
How does the prosecution respond?
We maintain the original sentence was perfectly adequate. That is all.
Then first, let's examine the security footage from Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station submitted at the first trial. This is footage of Ikebukuro Station on October 7th at 7:43 a.m. The individual wearing sunglasses and a mask is believed to be the defendant. This person remains in the area for over an hour, watching as countless trains make their stops. At 9:06 a.m., he locates the victim of this case. Then he boards the train and pursues her. This footage of the station platform is from when the suspect and victim board the train car.
We already saw this during the first trial. Let's not be redundant.
Of course not. The victim claimed the defendant moved in a suspicious manner once the train left Ikebukuro Station, ultimately placing his hand under her skirt. After they arrived at Shinjuku Station 6 minutes later, the victim gathered her courage and grabbed his hand. However, there's a possibility the offender seen here is not the defendant himself, but a different person entirely, a stand-in. The goal was to disguise this event as an alibi for the murder which occurred in Yokohama that same morning. In other words, this instance of sexual battery was a conspiratorial fabrication. The original verdict was issued without taking this into consideration, resulting in an inadequate trial.
This is merely speculation. The defense has no proof to support these claims.
Precisely the issue.
Yes, there is indeed no definitive proof that confirms the existence of a stand-in. However, the notion itself cannot be disproved, even with all of the prosecution's evidence.
Would you care to elaborate, please?
The assailant fled the train and was caught shortly after on the Shinjuku Station platform. Many nearby passengers filmed the scene, which then circulated throughout Japan. The impact may have been greater since the defendant was an active duty officer. There's no mistake that the man apprehended at the platform was the defendant. Upon arrival, station police arrested him and immediately performed a trace element inspection. With that said, there's a very real possibility the offender who ran off the train was an entirely different person, and we have the evidence to prove that. If you'll kindly look at this.
What is this? Displayed on the large monitor, please. Is that a diagram of Shinjuku Station?
That's correct, Your Honor. First, the victim and the offender ran onto the platform as soon as the train doors opened. The train car they boarded is here on this map. We've marked the offender's route with an arrow. The lighter areas on the overhead view are within the security camera's line of sight. More people pass through Shinjuku than anywhere on Earth in a single day. It's packed with security cameras. However, this arrow with the dotted line reveals the existence of a small blind spot. That's where the defendant and stand-in swapped places.
I see. So you claim this was their opportunity?
Yes. As such, I'd like to question the defendant once more over this evidence. Defendant, when you were issued the verdict in your first trial, you said the following to the judge. In a warehouse about 3 days ago, a body turned up in Yokohama. If that wasn't enough, you correctly identified the body as Hiro Mikoshiba, despite the fact the police had yet to do so. How did you manage to pull off such a feat?
It came to me in a dream. Strange, I know.
Mikoshiba-san was your son Toshiro-kun's classmate, was he not?
That's right.
Toshiro Ehara was found dead in his apartment 4 years ago. He took his own life. Afterward, the defendant sued the school over Toshiro-kun's suicide.
Yes?
Ehara-san, can you tell us why you sued the school?
There were rumors my son had been bullied. Unfortunately, the court wasn't able to substantiate that claim.
And these rumors were discovered on the internet?
They were.
Of the bullies mentioned, Mikoshiba-san's name was among them. Were you aware of this?
I was.
Would you say you harbored murderous intent against Mikoshiba-san?
Objection. The defense's question is irrelevant. This case is to examine whether or not sexual battery took place. Also, the Kanagawa police are actively investigating Hiro Mikoshiba's murder. The courtroom is no place for baseless speculation.
How does the defense respond?
The timing of the battery incident makes this case an alibi for Mikoshiba-san's murder. We believe there's a very relevant connection.
Very well. The prosecution's objection is overruled.
Please keep it brief.
Just as soon as the defendant answers the question. Did you harbor murderous intent for Hiro Mikoshiba?
Of course I did.
In other words, Your Honor, it goes like this. On the day Toshiro-kun's bully, Mikoshiba-san, was killed, the defendant set out to synchronize the murder with sexual battery. It became his alibi for the murder, and the prosecution and the court all but approved it. A 6-month sentence for sexual battery and getting away with murder. That's all the motivation the defendant needed to fabricate this elaborate scheme. His stand-in groped his accomplice, and then they swapped places before getting caught. It's all entirely possible.
Then the defense should present some evidence to prove it.
Wrong. That's not how this works, is it? The prosecution bears the burden of proof in criminal cases. If we go through all the evidence and discover the possibility no groping took place, then it's on the prosecution to refute that.
Fine. Have it your way. The defense's argument about the security camera's blind spot is flimsy at best. While the defendant was running, his female victim was chasing after him. Surely the victim would have seen if he had switched places with a stand-in. Yet the victim provided no such testimony.
The victim, Yui Mamiya, was an accomplice in the scheme.
Objection! This is an insult to the victim. Such claims harm the integrity of all women.
She's an excellent liar. Not only did she deceive Prosecutor Takano, but also the police on the scene and even the other passengers.
The court does not look kindly on character defamation. It's people like you who make victims afraid to raise their voices.
The victim of this particular crime was a plant, having planned to be a victim the whole time. All as part of the offender's elaborate charade you've fallen for. But for reasons unknown, the prosecution rejects the idea. Probably an intimidation tactic.
Excuse me?
Defense, please mind your manners.
Yagami-san.
Defense, do you have any logic behind this claim that the victim conspired with the defendant?
Yes, we do. In actuality, she wasn't the only conspirator who helped stage the groping. The bystander who captured the defendant, the witness who recorded the incident on his smartphone. Both men, in conjunction with the victim, were classmates from the same high school. Which means, strange as it sounds, that these seemingly unrelated individuals were in fact all acquaintances. It's clear that this was a carefully organized and planned event.
Our investigation discovered they all graduated from Kurokawa Academy in Tokyo 13 years ago. Additionally, Yoko Sawa, the teacher who was killed in Ijincho, graduated from the same class. 4 years ago, she was the teacher of the defendant's son, Toshiro-kun. We believe this indicates a connection between the Kurokawa Academy graduates and this case.
Of course, that's as deep as we need to go on that. We've simply presented the possibility that multiple conspirators were present when the defendant was apprehended. And as long as such a possibility exists, the defense asserts the defendant cannot be found guilty.
Your Honor, may I speak?
What is it?
I haven't committed murder. Per my conviction, I am just a pervert who victimized a woman on the train. Everything else is in the defense's imagination.
Defendant, why did you agree to this appeal then?
You can ask my lawyers that. I simply didn't stop them.
How does the defense respond?
It's just as the defendant says. However, we believe his recollection may be a bit fuzzy. To refresh his memory, I'd like him to take a look at some footage. Will you permit this, Your Honor?
Now what?
But please, don't display this on the large monitor. We shouldn't shock the public. It's footage of a murder.
Excuse me, wasn't that denied as evidence?
As I said, this is solely to refresh your memory. It's up to the judge whether or not we show it.
Please proceed.
That's just internet footage with no known origins.
No. This footage is from the SD card in the camera used to record it. This is a write once, read many card, also known as a worm. The police use it to photograph evidence. Anything recorded on it is highly reliable data. After serving your time, you intended to release this to the public. But Kawana can't wait for that to happen. And that's why he left it in my care.
Don't kill me. Please. I'm sorry. Toshiro-kun. I'll make it up to him. I'll atone for it. I swear I'll try to make it up to him somehow. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Defendant, in that footage, is the person in the white raincoat you?
You could say it looks like me.
The person you killed is Hiro Mikoshiba. According to the autopsy report, he died sometime after 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. Therefore, it can only be that the person who passed through the ticket gate shortly after at 7:43 a.m. was not you, but your stand-in. As the defense, we cannot allow our client's conviction of sexual battery to stand in light of this footage. May we continue questioning the defendant?
How does the prosecution respond?
Even if the footage has an irrefutable source, that alone does not prove guilt of murder. I'd just like to state that in advance.
So the prosecution is denying the murder? Remind me who exactly is defending me here?
Good question.
The defense repeatedly mentions a stand-in, but where is this person currently? Who even are they? The person on the station's security footage was wearing sunglasses, but he looked just like the defendant.
We believe he used a mask made from a 3D printer. If you look closely, the alleged defendant at Ikebukuro Station and on the train does not move his mouth at all. We learned this from sources who may have been the stand-in and the collaborators.
Then we should call them to the stand to testify.
No need. The defendant should know all of this already.
I don't know anything about it.
He said he doesn't know. So what now? The defendant admitted to sexual battery, not murder. The murder footage has excellent production value, but nothing else corroborates the defense's claims.
Your Honor, I would like to request further witness testimony from the victim.
Denied. Both the defendant and the victim certified the validity of the battery, leaving no room for discrepancies. It would be unprecedented for a victim to testify further in this situation.
By that logic, there's no precedent for using battery as an alibi for murder either.
I will admit there is a possibility, but not enough to justify subjecting the victim to further distress in court. I must once again deny the request.
But...
Defense, I've made myself clear.
Your Honor, following the defendant's last statement, we have a few more questions.
Understood. Please proceed.
What's next?
Ihara-san, you're familiar with Jin Kuwana, aren't you? He's a handyman in Ijincho.
Nope. Never heard of him.
On October 7th, Kuwana disguised himself as you and boarded a train in Ikebukuro bound for Shinjuku Station. He was the stand-in for the sexual battery mentioned earlier.
Your Honor, no evidence has been submitted to verify that statement. The name Kuwana was not present on any documentation, nor was the prosecution notified.
Kuwana is the very person who encouraged the defendant to murder Mikoshiba-san.
Defense. As the prosecution has stated, no one by the name of Kuwana is known to the court. We've not even confirmed if he exists. Please refrain from this line of questioning.
But, Your Honor, Kuwana is a key factor in the defendant's motive. Without him, Ihara-san never would have killed Mikoshiba, and we wouldn't be in this courtroom. Am I getting through to you?
I don't know a Kawana.
No, you definitely do. Kawana's the one who fanned the flames of vengeance. You do well to remember that. Take a listen to this.
What is it?
It wasn't just some random internet post that made you decide to kill Mikoshiba-san, was it? Even while battling the school in court, you still didn't know for sure who pushed Toshiro-kun to his death. That's when Kuwana came to you with this recording, right?
Hmm? That's... Why do you...
Toshiro-kun came running to the roof. His face was pretty swollen. And a few minutes later, a student named Mikoshiba came up looking for him. I'll never forget the fear I saw in Toshiro-kun's face.
That's the voice of Yokosawa, the teacher Toshiro-kun confided in about being bullied 4 years ago. It was recorded in secret and played for the defendant by Kuwana.
He told me about everything. The teasing, the beatings, the theft. How nobody was on his side. And yet, I had to deny all this in front of an entire courtroom. Believe me, I never wanted to do that. They said there was no hope, that I was the only witness with no proof whatsoever.
After hearing this, the defendant came to believe Mikoshiba-san's unchecked aggression toward Toshiro was the driving force behind his son's tragic suicide. And ultimately, this became his motivation for murdering Mikoshiba-san and staging his elaborate cover-up. Isn't that right, Ihara-san? Is it coming back to you yet?
Afraid not.
I see.
Then, is that all? Can the defense please get back on track?
This recording only came into my hands by means of Kuwana. Except, thinking about it now, much like the murder footage, that would qualify as an unreliable source, wouldn't it?
What?
We live in an age where audio and video footage can be fabricated and easily reproduced.
What are you getting at?
Sawa-sensei, the one speaking in the recording, was murdered only days ago. And the one who recorded it, Kuwana, disappeared without a trace. Meaning that as far as this recording is concerned, no one is left who can prove that it's authentic to the court. Or is my understanding incorrect? You would say you're completely unaware of the details about your son in this recording. Kuwana had it. Didn't he play it for you?
I never heard it. Regardless of the content, it has nothing to do with me.
So you say. In that case, let's just assume then that Kuwana and I are the only ones in possession of this audio recording. And considering that Kuwana has all but vanished without a trace, that would actually make this the only copy, and me the sole owner. No backup exists.
What are you getting at?
This has no value in this courtroom, then I'm afraid it's never gonna have a value beyond today. And being that you claim it's unrelated to you or this case, then it wouldn't bother you if I were to delete it from my phone right here and now.
Why would... That's crazy. I wouldn't!
Okay. Then tell me why I shouldn't do it.
Because Mikoshiba was a man who should never have escaped being judged. That's the proof of my son's pain. The proof that everyone ignored. That recording is all I have left of him! I took the school to court because Toshiro deserved justice. But all they could say is that the cause of his suicide couldn't be determined. In the end, not a single person was held responsible. No proof, no justice. My son was hung out to dry.
Yes. That's all true.
All of you. You're all so incompetent. You see yourselves as these paragons of law and justice. Yet the truth slips right through your fingers. And then, my alibi made you a mockery. I made it so real. You passed me off as just another pervert. You were gullible. Every single one of you. Toshiro threw his life away and justice was blind to his pain. Mikoshiba walked free because of you. You condone murder and call yourselves the law. That's why. That's why I did it. I took Mikoshiba's life with my own hands.
This is coming in hot. Remember that pervert cop? Turns out he's actually a murderer.
To recap, you killed Hiro Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then headed to Shinjuku Station where you and Kawana pulled off a switch. And there you were ultimately arrested as a groper.
Yeah. That's right.
Defendant, you bear animosity for the whole system. We can't just take your words at face value. If you're responsible for Mikoshiba-san's murder, can you bring forward any evidence, or just the murder footage?
To tell you the truth, I have something that I was holding on to for the impact that it would have. It's very real evidence that the law has failed us.
What have you been hiding then? Will it prove you killed Mikoshiba?
Yes.
Then what is it?
If you go to my wife's apartment, you'll find my son's altar there. In it, you'll find the weapon I used for the crime, the knife I murdered him with. It still has Mikoshiba's blood on it.
Wait a minute, Genda-sensei. I prayed at that altar.
Well, I guess you can lead a horse to water.
Very well then. We'll open an investigation.
Defense. Will there be anything further?
No matter how justified, vengeance is not something we can ever take into our own hands. That said, in the case of Ahara-san, our system failed him. We know the law strives to be just, but it failed to prove Toshiro-kun was bullied. That's not justice. Not when no one is held responsible. The law, as well as those who enforce it, are far from perfect. So to the court, I say let this case be a lesson. The law is failing to save people who need saving.
It's clear proceedings should be adjourned. At a later time when Mikoshiba-san's murder weapon is recovered, we can resume the trial. I'm willing to do that via a special exception. Defense, prosecution, is that clear?
No objections.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Well, Kanagawa PD called from the Ehara residence. They've recovered the knife. I'm ashamed to admit that I was so blind to his scheme.
Well then, that makes two of us.
Seems I underestimated you. And the worst part of all, I was arrogant. Legal authority and organizational connections should never be held above the pursuit of truth. I'm glad you were able to make me see that again. Thank you.
Nah. You've come a long way.
Genda-sensei.
Prosecutor Takano's been stubborn as hell from the day he passed the bar. Once he's made up his mind, nothing can stand in his way. Not even his own boss. And he only bows once in a blue moon, so I hope you remember this.
Typical Genda law. I'm never going to like you.
You two really pulled it off. Great job.
Yagami-san.
It's Kusumoto, the Vice Minister.
Bondo.
He's from public security?
Right.
You handled that with such grace, Yagami-sensei. It's no wonder Kuwana holds you in such high regard.
What brings you here?
Yagami-sensei, would you mind if we talked alone?
Why, though? Something we can't hear?
The more you know, the more you risk. You'd be endangering your own lives. If you're willing to accept that, feel free to stay.
We'll clear the room. At this point, we'd just be getting in Yagami-san's way.
It was nearly a month ago that Kusumoto-san received a letter from Kuwana, though we were unable to use it to trace him.
What did it say?
Soma told you, didn't he? Kuwana hid Shinya Kawai's body, seeing as Kusumoto-san's fingerprints and other traces were still on it. If that surfaces, the Ministry of Health will have yet another massive scandal on its hands. As such, we'd like to recover and dispose of the body as quickly as possible. Perhaps we'll need to melt it down.
The body was originally preserved to maintain control over Mitsuru's bullies. I never imagined it would be used against me someday.
Fine, but why are you telling me this?
Because of the letter he sent. Once Eihara-san's trial is over, he wanted to talk to you. Using my phone.
Huh? Is that Kuwana?
Kusumoto-san, is Yagami there? Put me on speaker, please.
Go ahead.
So, it seems Eihara-san's trial was a big success. He took our failing legal system and turned it on its head. Couldn't have done it without you.
I don't know what you're thinking, but public security has to be tracing this call. You have a plan?
No, not this time. That's why I'm using my own phone. And that's just the way I want it. Can't run forever, you know.
What the hell are you saying? They catch you, you're a dead man.
That's exactly why I'm negotiating to prevent that. Kusumoto-san.
Yes.
I'll be upfront with you. I never imagined the day would come that you would be the one to betray me. But if I had to guess, Mitsuru-kun must have woke up. If that's the case, then Kawai's murder, your whole past, you're not the only one it stands to ruin. If all that comes into the light, Mitsuru-kun will be labeled the son of a murderer.
Exactly. I can't let that... That's the one thing I need to prevent.
I know. That's good. That's exactly what you should be doing. So please, don't stop now on my behalf. Enough is enough. You and your son have been through enough hell. I want to protect Mitsuru-kun too. Almost as much as his mother.
Where is Kawai's body? Tell me.
I can only assume this call is being traced, so even as we speak, I'm standing somewhere very close to it.
You gave us the location. I'm going to dispatch Soma.
Kawana! Where are you?
I'm in Injincho. If I take even one step out of this city, I'd be powerless. I've got nowhere else left to go.
Kawana!
After they find Kawai's body and Kawana is taken care of, I'm next on the list. Bando can act at his own discretion. If he wants me gone, he'll be able to silence anyone who could know too much. Sawa-sensei was just the first victim. You yourself have sealed this fate, you know. Will you tell him? Will you tell Mitsuru-kun about Sawa-sensei?
Surely you know it wasn't my fault. Sawa-san's death was a tragedy. I never imagined that would happen.
What about Kawana? Can you imagine how his death is gonna play out in a few hours? I can, but I'm not gonna let him go down without a fight. Which means, I'm going to Ijincho.
I can talk some sense into Bando. I won't allow him to kill indiscriminately. So please, don't go out there to risk your life.
That's how it works. No promises. Tsukumo, Kawana's still out in Ijincho. Soma and RK are heading there too. We need to get to him fast.
Wait, are you sure about that?
You should be able to pick up some chatter. Pinpoint the location. I'm on my way. I'll talk to you soon. Tsukumo?
I see you've arrived in Ijincho safe and sound.
What's happening? Is RK on the move?
Oh yes. A picture began circulating on the internet not long ago. It was likely Kawana-san who put it out there. I just sent it over to you.
Hang on. Is this Shinya Kawai? That's his body.
Indeed it is. I data mined the image and found out it was taken just minutes ago. I also have the location. It's a warehouse company on Yokohama's coast, and Kawana's uncle came up as the proprietor.
You mean Siren's owner? Send me the warehouse's address.
Actually, Sugiroshi's driving there with Kaito-san and Higashi-san right now. If you want to ride, take Ichizaki Road and head to Tsurukame Highway.
Can't count him.
Cock, over here. These RK assholes are like bananas. They only come in bunches.
Somehow they never show up when you need them. They're right there when it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
You think this bunch is in public security?
I'm not sure. Either way, we don't have time to deal with that.
Hey! Relax, fellas. I can vouch for these guys.
Obviously.
The nip came off a Mikoshima case. Investigating the connection to Ara. What the hell are you guys doing?
Guana's in a tight spot, actually. Can I count on you? With the cops help?
Really like tight spot.
Take a step back, please. These men are going to be under our jurisdiction. This has to wait. We're dealing with a matter of life and death here. Be quiet!
Hey, I told you I could vouch for these guys. They all just chill out and let them explain.
Hey! What the hell? We suggest you stay out of this.
Okay, name a department.
Our orders are coming way higher up the chain than yours. So again, stay out of this. Something's stopping you from the rest of the detective. What do you want to try?
Do your orders include going around helping us with your batons?
We're about to have a problem here, aren't we? All forward. Hands up, face the car. Set, move! Oh, damn! It's Yagami-san! What brings you all the way out here? Butts. Cut it.
Hey! Stop that!
Whoa! Back off, too!
Hey, check it out! These goddamn cops are rejecting my friend's food with their shitty as fuck! I'm no expert, but is that shit legal? Nice. Zero. Start the car. Okay.
Hey! Turn me on! There's a cop here and he's screaming on me!
Those kids aren't even that bad.
What's wrong?
Looks like everybody's on our side. Except Arcade and the cops.
Great. Guana's gonna be waiting for us.
Come on. I'm going as fast as I can.
Just about at the place. You got a visual?
Yeah, the view's great from up here, Nakamichi. From my position, it looks like RK is swarming the whole building.
Soma?
I can't confirm his location, unfortunately. Kawada-san either.
Okay. So give me a number here. How many RK we got?
I'd say about 100.
100?
It's a massive warehouse, so they need all the manpower they can get. They seem to have fanned out to search for Kawai's body. The good news is there's no indication they found it yet.
Zucchero-kun, got any bright ideas for where I should park this thing?
I'm afraid it won't matter too much. The enemy already knows around the route. You'll have a welcoming party no matter where you decide to enter from.
That works. Just need to get them to show up and beat down the front door.
Are you guys ready?
Hey, anyone else getting some good deja vu from kicking a bunch of asses in the town floor?
Pretty pumped, actually. Reminding me I'm alive, you know? Come on, man. Was that bored about being Kamurocho? Let's go!
Yeah, we just beat all their ass. It was like 100 of them damn people.
She's got an ultimatum for you. You know that? Yes. She wants you to dump him today and go home with her. Damn it, can't say anything.
The law about to come on.
First of all, way back, he did admit to cheating on you. Yes. You think it's a lot more than that one?
Yes, he messes with girls that look like a mess all day.
Yes. So, you saw two of your friends. You need a place to stay.
Yes.
Here come that hoe. Here come that hoe. She know she getting drafted to Raw tonight. Alright, well, why you coming now? I don't want to listen to you right now. Hold on. Let me finish this. Let me finish this right quick, mama, so we can watch our show. Cause I can't say this. I'm in the midst. I started this shit. I wasn't even looking at the goddamn time. I should have started this bitch after Raw went off. We already know what Becky for the time. Becky better come out here and talk and run her mouth. Yeah. She about to come out here and run her mouth.
Why would you be on this? One thing says that she gave you all sex and money. Oh, he gave her. sex, had sex with her cousin, any gas, put some back page, you said no, the lie detector determined you tell me the truth. Did you cheat on her and have a threesome? You said no. A lot of things determined. Your ex is there doing laundry. You really having sexual intercourse with her. You said no. A lot of things determined. With the Tika's two friends who live with you and their you said no, the lie detector determined that's what's going on. Get down to another woman, you said no, the lie detector determined that's what's going I'm going to show you something, okay, backstage, all right? Listen. Okay. You know Wendy? Wendy is my private investigator. Okay. Woman's woman, ready to take you somewhere, show you something. That means you cannot stay. Okay, are you ready for this?
Don't, because clearly we have someone finished.
Okay, don't change the channels. There's one more shocking piece of evidence. This is something that is happening in the strategy service. Scotty says he's older than happy to get one person. No, I can't. Nothing something. You've got a big picture. You're going to make other big challenges and big down the road. That character that you hello there. Yeah.
Finna watch our show. Man, keep pausing this. We're gonna watch our show, but I had to keep pausing this and doing it on commercial. I love you. Uh-oh.
You don't even go here anymore. So Becky, you better get your girl because she don't know me. Well, first of all, I'm no one's girl, and I'm not a girl. I am a woman. Listen, I'm not disrespecting you. I get it. You've done a lot. You won the Royal Rumble. You've been SmackDown Women's Champion. You even made it into WrestleMania. You've almost done as much as me. But the only thing you should be doing is asking for my autograph and thanking me for paving the way for you. Pretty disrespectful to me. I mean, if it was me, I'd fight Charlotte right now, but I've been here so many times, I've got nothing left to prove.
Damn.
thank you, and Sasha Banks when I defend my title at Crown Jewel, but you two have never fought before. I wonder what would happen.
Me too.
Whoa, wait. Bianca, I only give out opportunities, not charities. I wouldn't take that.
Oh, so that's how it's gonna be. You know what? Well, I got something that I can give to you.
It's heating up here, ladies, if you please. If we can pause the bickering for a second, I think we can give you guys the right opportunity to handle this. Sonya, I think we're looking at a hell of a main event, aren't we?
That's right, because for the first time ever, tonight on Raw, it's gonna be the Queen, Charlotte Flair, taking on the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair.
Wow! We got more. Natalya and Tamina will take on Rhea Ripley and Nikki A.S.H. in a rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
But first, we're gonna kick things off right here, right now, in the United States Championship match.
It's right for everyone. That's the understatement of the year, Jimmy. Make way for the charismatic Azifa. You know he's gonna get this national crowd going. Perfect for a night when we don't know what to expect. They are on their feet in Nashville because we are moments away from a United States Championship matchup. That's right, Damian Priest versus, that's right, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, the United States Championship on the line because the Incredible coming up next. It is live, I can't wait. Jeff Hardy prepares for action. Can he dethrone Damian Priest? We'll find out.
NXT 2.0. Can you catch the vibe?
I think. Athletes are hungry to show out.
NXT 2.0. Live tomorrow night, 8/7 Central, only on USA. Champions getting turned.
Can you handle a hot honey? It's honey with a feisty kick.
Yeah.
It's about to change everything you knew about our hamburgers.
No, this could be that bad.
Topped with crispy bacon and melty Swiss. You wouldn't want it on our biscuits. Honey just got its own stinger. Taste the sweet heat for yourself with the new Hot Honey Hand-Breaded Chicken lineup, only at Cost Junior Hobbies.
I'm game day ready. Let's do this.
Good.
It's a good day to start something new. To push weight ready in 5 easy minutes. Put yourself out there and always put your best face forward. Just for men, mustache, and beard.
I help create a vape that makes depression convenient.
Now, if this is like a product like a depression stick, nicotine can amplify depression and anxiety. So I'm trying to sell some depression. Anyways, sadness, stress, all those vape pens that you're carrying, I mean, they pretty much do the same thing as mine. I'm just being honest with my marketing.
Well, we could.
You don't want to sell depression? No, you gotta get out of it. You're lost.
You need to face your fears.
The Emperor asks us to bring peace.
Every man doesn't seem to me. He's called to it. Where did you continue?
Is it where it gets us every night. Sometimes leaves behind the things that can harm it. But now, point by point, we can make a difference. Because Delta has committed to becoming the world's first carbon-neutral airline on a global basis. We believe you shouldn't have to choose between seeing the world and saving it.
Boost and Cricket charge more for unlimited 5G. Metro does. Introducing the big 5G upgrade. Just $25 gets you 1 night of unlimited 5G and a free 5G smartphone. More your day with 5G only at Metro.
There's a killer out there right now.
Chucky is alive.
He's making sense.
Exactly all the rules for supernaturally possessed souls.
Anyone who's told the truth about Chucky's in the put away over this.
He wants to give you eyes. We wonder how he died.
He is trying to kill us. We have to find him and kill him.
We're almost together.
Together.
That's what I said.
Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. The 2021 draft continues with the WWE officials Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce.
Welcome everyone to the final night of the 2021 WWE draft.
And without further ado, it's the cat's out of the bag. Let's go ahead and make this official. As you've all heard, with the first pick on night 2 of the WWE draft, Monday Night Raw selects the man and the SmackDown Women's Champion.
I knew it.
This is huge, and now it's
I said it.
the man has come around for Monday Night.
I just said this on SmackDown Friday. No way here they gonna let Sully in. I'm trying to say the show with the belt.
The WWE draft, Friday Night SmackDown selects the reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos.
Oh!
This is the toughest SmackDown Tag Team Champion.
Whatever.
And with the next pick in the first round, Monday Night Raw selects the almighty Bobby Lashley. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. The era of the almighty continues on Monday Night Raw.
But you should have went to SmackDown.
The dominance so far on Raw, unstoppable. That will continue. He's with the Red Brand.
And with the final pick of the first round of the WWE draft, Friday Night SmackDown selects the Boss, Sasha Banks.
If I could stay on SmackDown.
Sasha Banks, 6-time former women's champion.
Well, no, not really, because Charlotte and Becky watch themselves now.
Well, it's official. Becky Lynch, Bobby Lashley, the Usos, Sasha Banks.
Yeah, they got to switch belts, huh, Charlotte. But Becky got the SmackDown belt. Charlotte got the Raw belt. They're going to have to switch belts.
Once again, and the almighty remains. I love everything about what just happened. Including a United States Championship match in a matter of moments. The charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, with another opportunity to knock off the U.S. champion, Damian Priest. Easier said than done, my friend.
But my daddy Pete, they out here. Not just Thursday. They ain't got to yet.
Nobody.
Oh,
Either roster.
it's gonna come out tonight. Which show he goes to?
Has been as red hot as Damian Priest. The following contest scheduled for 1 fall is for the United States Championship. Making his way to the ring, he is the United States Champion, Damian Priest.
I was trying to get to the stage so I can play the game. But I'm in the middle of this. I can't stop it. If I knew I was going to be in that business, I would have saved that for later.
Damian Priest has a very, very good
Nah, I don't think so.
Competition only in the moment. Priest has plenty of respect for Jeff Hardy, but Damian Priest has one priority in the world right now. That is remaining United States champion.
He's never going to stay there. We know Jeff Hardy has been drafted over to SmackDown. Look, Jeff Hardy could win that United States title if they Friday Night SmackDown, which Hardy has done in the past.
You're absolutely right, Byron. It's a very real possibility that Damian Priest will not go down without a fight. There is no doubt about it. Priest vowed to be a fighting United States champion and has done so in thrilling victories week after week after week.
We are underway. This is what I call, gentlemen, argue with me if you want. I've been in combat sports for 20 years. It's what we call a trap fight, right? To defeat Sheamus last week. I defeated Jeff Hardy in singles competition, in triple threat matches. You always will pass together because got 1 foot out the door. He takes you by surprise. That could happen to you.
You're absolutely right about that, Jimmy. But I think Damian Priest is functioning on such a level right now that nothing can knock him down. Nothing can knock him off his game. Case in point.
Knocked off his feet to the cover, hook in the leg. Not quite yet.
Jeff Hardy has a tremendous amount of respect for Damian Priest. He's not as far to say
of myself and Damian Priest. It's that trick move that makes Jeff Hardy dangerous. It's not about his size, it's about his speed, his versatility, his
Goldberg face to face.
Oh my goodness, and his Hardy's experience that was just negated by a massive kick by the United States champion and Priest giving chase to the outside. Things getting very ugly. Oh my goodness. Hardy fighting his way out of harm's way.
Able to bash his way out. This is where Hardy's so dangerous.
Priest avoids contact. Hardy crashes and burns.
That's what happens when you watch a guy for years. You know his tricks. You know what he's going for. Priest saw that coming.
Great wherewithal from Damian Priest, understanding as much as I respect Jeff Hardy. This is the United States champion. And the second battle, watch the top of your screen. Damian Priest thought about taking it high risk. Hardy out of the way. Priest changed directions. Here he comes.
Whoa! Rolling right over the top. The United States champion, clearing the house.
Okay.
I'm joining again.
Commercial.
What's different?
But they ain't gonna stop me. It ain't gonna stop me from watching my Raw. Even though I usually turn my game off when Raw come on, but I'm gonna finish this. And whenever we get to a save, well, I already said the Usos was gonna stay on SmackDown. It's the reason why I said they're gonna stay on SmackDown. Cause Randy Orton and Matt Riddle and them didn't go to SmackDown, so they the Raw Tag Team Champions. They stayed on Raw. So yeah, that's why they kept the Usos on SmackDown because they got the SmackDown belt. Yeah. So my thing is, Paul Heyman must did go back and hear what Roman Reigns said. Cause that nigga was in the background talking about thank you. Brock Lesnar and him ain't friends. Of course, him and Brock Lesnar friends. Brock Lesnar been quiet for a minute. Yeah. Think he just gonna stop being Roman Reigns, being Brock Lesnar friend because of Roman Reigns?
No, I will.
Here come her. I know that's exactly what it is.
Hello.
Suspicious.
Hello. Hello.
That ain't good, man. It ain't good.
Hey. Suspicious.
Ain't good, man. It ain't good. They weren't saying shit, so I ain't good. Hold on, guys.
He goes airborne. Or he can taste the United States Championship from the top. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's good. And it'll go all the way. He's going to help Jeff. 1, 2, reversal. And it's over. My goodness. What a turnaround. Future living still. The United States
He might be going to SmackDown anyway. That nigga already got blue in his hair. Like he wanna go to SmackDown. I won't be surprised if SmackDown pick him up. He been on Raw long enough. Ever since he debuted. Why would he stay on Raw? He's been here since he debuted. Well, the draft. He's been here ever since he debuted on Raw. He stays here, but I'm gonna put it like this. They draft Nakamura to Raw, they gonna draft him to SmackDown. I don't care where he go. He's been on Raw ever since he debuted. Time for him to change shit.
Obviously, a disappointing outcome. But knowing you've been drafted to SmackDown, is there anything you want to say to the WWE Universe?
First of all, I love y'all. It's so good to be in front of you again, and I've been to the highest of highs of WWE. I've also crashed back down to reality from time to time. With that said, I think Women's SmackDown might be the perfect opportunity to see a different side of Jeff Hardy. A different ego. But for the next couple weeks, I'm still here on Monday Night Raw, so I intend to make the most of it. I love you so much. Oh, there, Mr. Hardy.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory drafted Friday night on SmackDown to the Monday Night Raw brand via NXT. Theory, over to interrupt Jeff Hardy. He was on a blue chip prospect Monday Night Raw, hit a home run with Austin Theory. I'm so sorry, no disrespect at all, Jeff. No disrespect. My name is Austin Theory, and my dreams come true. Jeff, I got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and now I'm standing in the ring with the legendary Jeff Hardy. Jeff, I just want you to know my whole childhood.
I'm trusting Jeff.
Hey, I've never seen anything like this. He's doing Raw. He's a fanboy. I thought Austin Theory's looking at.
I told you, Jeff.
There we go. What's that? Hey, just a second. I take back everything I just said. Yeah, so what's being a fanboy? This is what it takes. Austin Theory is wise beyond his years. Isn't that cute? That's what it takes to make it to the top, Saxton. Nice guys finish last. Austin Theory making way for himself. The first night on Monday Night Raw. Jason, right back up there. Thank you,
Wow, Austin Theory with one smash here on Monday Night Raw. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guests, the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro. It's been announced that we'll defend your Raw Tag Team titles against AJ Styles and Omos at Crown Jewel. What's your reaction upon hearing that news?
Randy, I'm just so excited to have you back. Last week sucked.
Oh, look, shut the fuck up.
Chunk slammed me, but then, hey, we both got drafted to Monday Night Raw, so that's pretty sweet. And, hey, is that a snake in your pocket? He's well, hey, now that RK Bro is back in action, it's time for us to get some sweet revenge on AJ and Owens. And speaking of sweet, Randy, it looked like you took some sweet time off, little bro. You were glowing. You look like a skinless snake sitting in the sun. What, bro? Snake shed skin. I love summer school.
Riddle, I appreciate the use of the facts. I really do. Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's good then. All right, check it out. Listen up. We have the opportunity to defend these tag titles and shut up AJ and Omos once and for all, but that doesn't happen until Crown Jewel. But don't fret, Lou. In the meantime, it's very special here in Nashville. It is very special because I have a proposition. Omos. I'm talking to you, big brother. I think that it is time, Omos, that you finally go one-on-one with the legend.
Wait, with all of us? Are you serious?
So what's serious? We're calling out the Colossus Omos only. Randy Orton, proven his Apex Predator. Speaking of predators, Shayna Baszler, the last few weeks, has not had opponents. She has had victims. That's the only way to say it.
You're absolutely right. Starting with her former women's tag team championship partner, Nia Jax.
Man, look at this.
If you've got a weak stomach, I suggest you look away. Unmatched, unrivaled, next-level brutality from the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. But it wouldn't stop at Nia Jax. The brutality would continue to last Monday as Shayna Baszler single-handedly brought the evolution to a screeching halt before our very eyes. Shayna Baszler is a woman on a mission who will stop at absolutely nothing to get what she wants.
questions. Give respect to Dana Ford. And if he's in the accepted this challenge, you can tell you what shit this was. I don't know who was. We see the path of destruction from Dana Basil. They don't look very any differently. It is look, it is Basil, it is next. When you work carry out and choose Domino's Smart Side Delivery, check in when you arrive, and we guarantee we'll be headed out. I don't care about that now. 2 minutes after your order is ready. I'm doing my game right there. Come back on.
Okay, let's see where I'm at. I don't care about Shayna Baszler like that, but I want to see the match. Cause somebody gonna put that bitch in her place. They need to suspend her ass for doing that move. Yeah, but she hurting people, putting people out of acting. That's what caused people to get released. Because people are always injuring somebody. Bitch don't deserve to be in WWE. She gonna be doing shit like that. Now y'all got my approval to release Shayna Baszler. Hell, you got my approval. You got my approval to release Charlotte too. Yeah, but not like that. Charlotte don't hurt nobody like that. No, she don't. Not like that. Like I said, it's gonna take somebody to do that shit on her so she can see what that shit feel like. And she really sorry. She really paid around, so that's why she gotta do shit like that. Yeah. If you want to say that's doing her thing, to me that's cheating. You know, people get the upper head of you. People get the upper head of us who want to pull out that move, so she can hurt them. That's why people get fucking released now, because people always getting hurt. I won't be surprised if Nia Jax getting released. They don't tell how long she's gonna be out because of Shayna Baszler. She stomped on that woman's arm. So really, Nia Jax couldn't do shit. She was hurt. I don't condone that bitch. That. Well, Eva don't deserve that either. She deserves a beatdown, but she don't deserve that. She deserves a good beatdown, but she don't deserve nobody to break her fuck her arm. Well, I don't know why you bouncing for Shayna Baszler. She hurting people. That's fucking up people's careers. I don't care if Shayna Baszler won't be around. They gonna release her ass after a while. So once later on, bitch, that man gonna get tired of that shit. Really, because that man gonna really get tired of that shit. So, I already knew she was gonna beat her, so it wasn't for me watching. Who's that? I already knew she was. Look at it. Who's the crowd? I was. Oh, the match hasn't happened yet. They doing the draft. Okay, yep. Nakamura got drafted.
Oh, yeah! There they are!
He's going to SmackDown, so that could declare Daniel Priest is going to SmackDown, which I don't care because he needs to go somewhere else. He's been on Raw ever since he fucking debuted. Okay, I don't care about this. Who was the first draft pick? It's shame about the damn far yet.
It's a WWE draft. Find out right now. Just after the Management pay-per-view on October 22nd.
Yeah, I'm not where.
With the first pick in the second round of the 2021 draft, Monday Night Raw selects the legendary Drew Seth Rollins. Yes!
I knew it.
Oh, man, Monday Night.
I knew he was gonna fall in against Raw. I knew it. Okay, there it is. Okay, Daniel Priest stayed on Raw. No, that don't need to. No, y'all need to switch that. Oh, okay, no, Nakamura's on SmackDown. Never mind. I didn't see it because it was on commercial.
Into the ring.
So Nakamura's on SmackDown then.
Is she though, Jimmy? Is Dana Brooke ready for Shayna Baszler? Listen, I'm all for giving people time to develop, giving people time to realize their potential. But on a long enough timeline, you got to cut your losses. Dana Brooke has not accomplished much of anything. Look what we're seeing right now, Corey, for Dana Brooke. Look at the fight we're seeing.
Oh, did Shayna go to SmackDown?
Let's keep bringing it out. I want to see more. Dana Brooke has been on Raw and SmackDown for quite some time.
Did that say Shayna?
Potential to be realized. Will it ever happen? Always seen the physical talent.
No, yeah. I could have sworn he was Shayna. Okay, he ain't on it no more. He on SmackDown. Okay, so SmackDown, he's on SmackDown. So they ain't pretty much to worry about Shayna no more. Nothing worse.
However, looks more and more vicious than ever, and I love it.
So Shayna's what? They ain't pretty much to worry about Shayna no more. Nothing with it.
Amazing submission game, but she's brought it to your point, a new sadistic level.
Let's go try to hurt somebody.
Sadistic level right here.
Can't never fight him. Yeah, we want to hurt somebody.
Oh, going for some roll up. 1, 2, 0. Ring reversal to the armbar. This is it. Just stop this. We're desperately trying to reach that on a roll.
Kira Fuda clutch straight to the neck. Dana Brooke has to get the ropes and taps out.
Yeah, she won. And she's still gonna try to hurt her watch. She's just leaving and going backstage.
Shayna Baszler. There cannot be a woman walking God's green earth right now that can confidently
She's still gonna try to hurt her.
stare across at Shayna Baszler and think that
Let's get uncalled for.
Because Baszler is a machine right now. Baszler's done. She's done the last 7 weeks.
It doesn't matter. This she should be fired. Hurting people for no reason. Hit you on the match. Go backstage already.
All right, Shayna, you made your point.
Somebody come stop this man, listen, bitch.
The last couple weeks now. We get the hell out of here. Please don't. What are you doing? Are you going to introduce that situation?
Here comes somebody. Fine.
Looks like someone is.
We don't mind helping nobody. We don't mind helping nobody.
Maybe you should run, not skip. Just a thought. Or maybe you just really want to help Dana Brooke.
Yeah, you better back off. That ain't now your jack. Then she gonna try to attack him. Then she gonna run.
She thought that was wrong, but she was wrong.
intimidated at all.
Taylor said, what are you going to do now that I'm staring you down?
The answer right now looks like nothing. Shinobi's are actually backing off from Dewdrop.
Yeah, she gonna hit her and take off running.
Excuse me, Mr. Hammond. You must be very excited. The Usos officially, once again, part of the bloodline back on SmackDown with Roman Reigns, undoubtedly due to your influence.
Well, you're prettier than Kayla. Yes, due to my influence. That's pretty smart you have to this, okay? I am not only the special counsel to the tribal chief, I am the warden of the Uso Penitentiary.
And is that how you maintain Brock Lesnar's status as creator?
Yeah.
Okay, so take the
Control center before you leave. Lost judgment.
Let's see now.
What I gotta do now? So Lewis is watching it.
remember my name, of course. Hey, don't try to scare me.
Whoa, guys. At State Farm, we actually get to know you. It's called service. Like a good neighbor, State Farm was there.
Can you handle a hot honey? It's honey with a feisty kick, and it's about to change everything you knew about our hamburger chicken. Topped with crispy bacon and melty Swiss. You'll really want it on our biscuits. Honey just got its own stinger. Taste the sweet heat for yourself with the new hot honey hand-breaded chicken lineup. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hobbies.
Looks like you're really cranking, Jamie. Things are picking up, but I'm starting to keep costs down.
Spectrum Business can cut your internet and phone bill in half.
I bet there are plenty of hidden fees.
You'll get the price they promised with no hidden fees or added phone taxes.
But my clients send huge files to download.
Spectrum Business has fast index and will deliver the speeds they promise even at peak times. Get more speed and reliability for half of what you're paying now.
Put that on a poster. I can print it. Ready?
Yep. Hi. Hello, welcome to AT&T. Oh, thank you. Now, is the wireless price that's advertised, is that the actual price? It is. Good. So we also have tax and fees.
No.
Sorry, surcharges and extras.
No. You don't mention the taxes or the fees.
Gotcha. Okay, let's try it. Hello, I would like this. Hi, here for the taxes and fees?
AT&T is selling it. Don't buy it. For no surprise fees or hidden charges, choose Spectrum Mobile.
With these quarterbacks, the only way to settle this is to wear it out. Chiefs, Sunday Night Football on NBC and Peacock.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's tell you about Escape the Undertaker. In this interactive film featuring WWE superstars, The Undertaker has set a tropically decorated tag team with
his mansion. But what they don't know is the Undertaker's mansion is an extreme house packed with supernatural intelligence. It's up to viewers inside the face of these 24 souls trying to survive the wrath of the Undertaker. Let's see if the Undertaker premieres on Netflix tomorrow, October 5th.
I make the right choices. New Day will fail. We're already ready for tag team action. Mustafa Ali and Mansoor.
We're gonna act you tonight.
Oh, and Nashville just got a whole lot more handsome.
The team of Roberto Dario and Angel Garza. Aside from your opinions about their attractiveness for this team appreciate, they have been a dynamite team so far in Raw. At the beginning of that Raw, but man, their teamwork, their athleticism, it's all been on display. Oh, you say how they're going to that Raw together. These two are cousins. They do work together. They competed with each other. There's only way they came together. I agree that there's different turns at times. I agree. Roberto Dario and Angel Garza have put this act to the rules on notice.
Exactly. Are you mentally prepared for the day you have to call one of those two men stepdad? It's a real possibility.
We all do, but Roberto Carrillo started off viciously against Mansoor.
Listen, Carrillo and Garza have not yet been officially drafted to Raw or SmackDown. And I personally hope they go to Friday Night SmackDown. My ego can't handle being the third most handsome guy on the show. What you say? I'm like a distant third.
Yeah, their tattoos would all be golden with Corey, but look at the in-ring skills. That's what we're looking at. Oh, great escape and reversal by Mansoor. Mansoor reaching over to make the tag to Mustafa Ali. Does so successfully. The problem for Mansoor and Ali has been that lack of teamwork, that lack of coordination. You see flashes of greatness, but not great communication.
You're absolutely right. Flashes of greatness, not the ability to sustain it. Mansoor just listen to Ali. Ali fits right in here with Nashville. I think he's missing about 16.
Crowd would have been this match as well. Individually, they've been great. Look at Ali. Beautiful chop. Into the cover. Hook in the leg. Oh!
Maria just in time to save the matchup for his team, and Mansoor sends Umberto to the outside.
Great teamwork to break up that pin. Oh! Inside right now, Ali. Those aren't good words. It's a roll up. Shoulders down. Escape.
Face first into the bottom. Bumble goes Ali.
The combination right now you're seeing from Umberto. Oh! His viciousness just like that to the cover. And it's over. Angel Garza!
Devilishly handsome, deviously intelligent.
We are in the league.
I want to know the WWE champion.
I am. Oh, positivity. The man of the company hell. Here on Raw, the WWE champion, Big E is here. Not just the WWE champion. First pick on Raw because he's that good. The New Day. We will hear from the champion right after this.
The great thing about the app is we're going to get happy little price on our drinks.
Never a thief unless we win for you.
As an excuse to why he's not the father of my child.
I gotta ask you something, Santana. I mean, aren't you kind of stirring the pot? I mean, take a look at these pictures, all right? That kind of gets him in a way in which, you know, if she's doing all this.
I look beautiful, Maury. I look beautiful. I can't help that. I'm 24 years old. He knew what he was up against. He knew that. So I'm young. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna party more. But I see nothing wrong with it.
But your partying doesn't include going out with other guys, right?
This does not include me going out with other guys. I know how to go out and conduct myself as a woman. As long as I'm loyal and I do what I'm supposed to do, I see no problem in going out, enjoying myself.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
there's a big reason in the past as to why Alan begins to think that he's not the father of London.
There was a DNA in the past, and yes, my first child was not his. He forgave me 2 years ago for that, and that's over. We shouldn't even be talking about that anymore because he forgave me 2 years ago, Maury. That has nothing to do with this child.
Yeah,
this child was born when we got the last DNA.
But at the same time, Alan still is holding this against you, isn't he?
He throws that in my face, Maury. He throws it in my face every chance he gets. The day we got the DNA, I asked him, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to go our separate ways or do you want to work it out? He chose to stay.
Right.
I should not still be paying for something that happened 2 years ago.
Let's get everything straight.
Why the hell would you stay if you're going to keep doing it?
He's still a good father to that older child, right?
Yes, Maury. I will say he is a good father to his kids. I cannot take that away from him. But you become a bad father when you're out in the streets telling everybody that my child isn't yours. That's when you become the bad father.
You think they look alike?
He does not look like his dad, Maury, but he looks like my father. But what I'll tell you what he do, he got big hands, big feet, and they got the same baby name down there. Yeah, they look alike. They look alike. You are the father, and you're just making up an excuse because of tax DNA with our child.
Like whose dreams come true?
DNA with our child. Now, you just appreciate this story.
You better hope I'm the father.
I know you're the father. I ain't got hope for nothing. You the one that want us on here. You the one that's going to.
By the way, Santana, you
put us in this position.
How old is London?
London is 3 years old.
And he talks just like his father?
He talks just like his dad. They both have a list. They say my name the same. They anything that starts with an S, they say the same. Santana. They don't say Santana. They say Santana. They have a list, both of them. That's how we know. That's how I know. It has nothing to do with looks at the end of the day. You are the father.
Yeah, but
so you can stop with all of that.
But Alan has all these supporters who say get a DNA test, don't trust Santana.
His supporters are the ones that won't be more, and all of them will say about me because they're jealous and they really want me more. That's what it is. That's what it is. Then he got this big mom mama in his ear. And really, we wouldn't even be going through this if he wouldn't have never followed the last DNA we had. Nobody knew about that.
Oh, I see. You were supposed to keep that private, right?
Exactly. He went out in the streets and told the world, making himself look stupid.
Well,
that's what he did.
Didn't you kind of make him look stupid when you thought that he was the father?
Stupid because it was private. That was confidential. You made it public. That's on you at the end of the day. And I'm sorry for what I did, but that was 2 years ago. Here we are, 2021.
Okay.
And you still going on about it.
When we come back, when we come back, we're going to hear from Alan. And of course, we're going to have the result of the DNA test. Well, Alan find out he's not the father of his touchdown with Bill Gunn's baby again.
You better hope it's my baby.
Find out next. Could this paralyzed man be the father of Jasper's baby?
I drive my own car, but the one thing I can't do is make a baby.
Stick to it. You have trouble hearing, asking people to repeat themselves? You may be suffering from hearing loss. Call Eargo for a free remote hearing check. We met a 24-year-old Sam. Determined to prove to her 40.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. If you are a competitor in the women's division on Friday Night SmackDown, you better get on high alert because Xia Li is going to make some waves on SmackDown.
I agree with you, Saxton. Xia Li may be the diamond in the rough of this year's draft.
As we recap round 3 of the draft, AJ Styles and his personal Colossus Omos remaining on Raw. Kevin Owens, the
newest addition to the roster of Monday Night Raw. And the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, will head to Friday nights along with NXT's Xia Li.
So who's thankfully staying with Raw? That's right. The champ, Big E. The dangerous Edward, he with a microphone in hand. Nashville! Man, it feels incredible to be on my show, Monday Night Raw. But I'd be lying if I said that this past week or so didn't meet me with some challenges. For one, over the second consecutive year, Kofi and Woods were drafted to a brand that I am not on. Thank you. And I was also in the most physically grueling match of my career. But I made sure that the almighty Bobby Lashley fell down to his knees. And I came to show the world that I am indeed your rightful WWE champion.
Performance by the champion.
But in typical WWE fashion, before I could even breathe for a minute, the very next challenger came down that aisle and declared himself. Now, this man is no joke. This man is a two-time WWE champion. This man is an actual and literal swordsman. This man is Drew McIntyre. Now, before I waste any more of your time, Drew, if you will, come down to this ring and speak your mind.
I like this. Big E is calling out Drew McIntyre. WWE champion. How hard is to find?
McIntyre is not one to need to be convinced to go face to face with anyone.
Got the bravery of Big E. I think there was when McIntyre pulled a finger at me. He pointed a sword at Big E.
And did all the talking last week. Maybe the intentions of Drew McIntyre crystal clear.
McIntyre, incredible physical specimen. You heard Big E mention a two-time former WWE champion who's determined to prove to her 48.
Said my friend picked up kid through all that draft.
100 years ago, that man is at the head of
the king watching tonight.
He is conquering
Working from home.
castles to conquer the title, the championship of Big E. That's for sure.
Nah, this is good. He's been my friend on this.
His championship interest could be split right now.
What's the split? That sword makes for some social distancing right there.
No doubt about it. This guy is sporting a smile on his face. Curious to hear what's on Drew McIntyre's mind.
Nashville! It's a true day! Yes, it is!
But technically, I've been drafted to SmackDown, but I have unfinished business on Raw. It was many months ago now where I was screwed out of the WWE Championship by MVP and Lashley, and I've been biding my time. I've been patient. I've been waiting for a hero to step up, to liberate that title. And E, you vanquished Lashley, you stand before us all, the WWE Champion. Now this is the part most people would probably try and antagonize you, push your buttons and try and get you to accept a challenge. But I'm Drew McIntyre. I tell the truth as I see it, and the truth as you deserve to be WWE champion. Everybody, yeah, he does. You've earned it. You get the love from the people, the love from the girls and the guys in the back. Social media's been exploding, but there's been one person I know you've been waiting for. You've been checking your Twitter every day like, why is McIntyre not congratulating me yet? It's because I do things the old-fashioned way. I want to look you in the eye and say you've been through a lot of ups, a lot of downs. You've earned this moment, you've earned my respect. Congratulations. Yeah, it's coming. Technically, you did cash in on an injured Lashley. Although technically, Lashley attacked me from behind and I got cashed in on, so he does deserve it. And technically, nobody likes Lashley anyway, so you did the world a favor. And technically, it finally, after all this time, allows me to do this. I challenge you for a match for the WWE Championship.
You're the crown jewel.
Whoa! Is this? Got a couple of dirty dogs in the house. Hold on a minute, fellas. Hold on a minute. You know, Dolph and I are minding our own business in the back, waiting to hear whether it's Raw or SmackDown that are going to draft a couple dirty dogs. We couldn't help but overhear this beautiful little story, right?
Very inspirational, Eve. We all know I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm genuinely proud of you. Congratulations on becoming champion. I even texted you congratulations. You left it on red, and that's fine. But this is a really motivational story. It's inspirational. I'm behind you 100%. And I just wondered why when you thanked everyone and you two were high-fiving or whatever it is you do, you forgot to thank me.
You want me to thank you?
Yeah. That's simple. I mean, I knew you forget. A lot of people, they grow up and they forget things. I had a feeling you'd be one of those. So take a look.
Oh, yeah, when you had his back.
Champion's bodyguard! Standing there looking jacked and strong, not a care in the world. Fresh face.
Oh,
boy, you're strong. You must have been really good at that point because we were at WrestleMania dominating. You must have been a hell of a talent back then in 2013 for you to get what you deserve now in 2021. I'm sure that had nothing to do with all my mentoring. You know, actually, without me, there's not just no E, there's no New Day, there's no Money in the Bank cash in. Hell, Xavier Woods might never be born without no DC. Yeah. There is no Big E.
I don't know, he may have a point.
Easy, Jack, you were next. I know what? You young kids don't really pay attention. I mean, I famously don't watch, but we all know where your career was a few years ago. You've mentioned it yourself, and I'm only bringing it up because you, again, like Eve, made an inspirational story, and you brought yourself back to WWE. Trust me.
Yeah, he tried to say you had his help too.
Come back to WWE.
But you came back with him. And a tag team. Nigga, sit down, dog.
Taking you under his wing, showing you what's like, showing you what moves to take, jumping on grenade after grenade after grenade for you, letting you know one day you were going to main event WrestleMania and beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. And you know what? All I've ever wanted, because I am a gentleman, is a simple thank you. Okay, it's easy. I did all the work. You know the coattails. It's pretty simple here.
So you want thank yous from the two of us?
Yep. So you guys want to thank you? I mean, clearly you've upgraded from the both of us.
Very funny. Let me tell you something, McIntyre. I am twice the friend and twice the tag team partner that you ever were. And you, a bodyguard? I mean, look at me. I put the body in bodyguard. Yeah. You call yourselves Big E. You know what they call me? They call me Big Bob. Nobody, not one person calls you that.
Not one person. Don't you disrespect Big Bob! This is about me! This is about what I've done! What I've done for both of you became the king of the mountain here! Decided who goes on to stardom and who doesn't! All I am asking is for a simple thank you. Simple.
They gonna thank you if they fit.
Because I am the perfect gentleman. Simple thank you. What does Hatch still think? Care what they think?
But we do owe you something, and that something is an ass whooping. So how about the two of you, dirty dogs, against me, Big E, and me, Big D? Right here, tonight, right now.
Drew McIntyre said, Big D. Okay, that's kind of appropriate for TV with Drew. Big D, yeah, he didn't say Drew, they didn't say Big D. Hey, that's kind of appropriate for television, Drew. Yeah, we do, but I'm just saying, it's kind of appropriate, Drew. Oh God, that nigga said, you can call me Big D. Drew. Did I say this now? No. I must gotta get somewhere. I gotta go permanently. Come on, y'all, give me some. Ron in there calling my phone while I'm in there trying to concentrate. Sean said, if I had loud and turn, I think over there ringing my phone. Yes, I seen what happened. I seen when the tribal chief got his lackeys. But Mr. Tribal Chief got what he wants. His cousins on Raw. I mean on SmackDown. He was gonna cry like a little bitch if he didn't get his cousins.
Oh, look at that.
And did you see Paul him praying?
Okay.
Y'all give me son? How the fuck is we supposed to get down? It's clearly that we got to go down there. Oh, here we go. All right, Mr. Yakami-san.
Need a lift? That's John, clear the path. I found this. Come aboard. This ought to be
Oh. Alright, y'all, come on. With the replay, so with the cutscenes, I can go see who gonna win this match.
What do you clubs think you're doing? Your asses are dead!
Oh, fuck. You just had to have all the help. The big man. Well, we're gonna say this for another commercial break. So this fight is gonna take a minute. This fight is gonna take a minute.
During the break, it was made official by Sony Deville, Drew McIntyre, and Big E versus the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Allow me to correct you, Jimmy. This is Big E and Big D versus DZ and Big Bob, who I have a massive fan.
That's too much speed.
Oh! McIntyre out of the gate, strongest flattened DZ. Watch the power of the Scottish Warrior. Oh, goodness! Showing blatant disregard for Ziggler.
Disregard and disrespect.
Well, Ziggler's the one who comes out here and claims that Big E and Drew McIntyre owe him a thank you for guiding their careers. Saxton has the logical finger here at the table. I don't see a problem with Dolph Ziggler requesting a thank you. Oh, gosh. Dolph didn't ask for a cut of the financials. Dolph didn't ask for an engraved plaque. Just a thank you. That's not so much to ask.
You know, I think it's not about getting a thank you. I think Dolph.
Here comes Big Bob.
Oh my God.
You know, but to your point, Corey, regardless of how you think about it, whether you believe he deserves a thank you, these four gentlemen, these four superstars know each other very, very well. They're very familiar. They have a history. They know each other's moves.
You know what I think? I think Dolph Ziggler and quote Big Bob are a little nervous because they haven't been
Real on my itself. Randy Orton himself.
Listen, you have a veteran presence like Dolph Ziggler, a veteran presence like Big Bob. They're a valuable addition to any locker room, whether it be Raw or SmackDown, or even NXT. You need guys, high character guys like Dolph Ziggler and Big Bob.
I'm not too surprised. You can call Robert Roode Big Bob with a straight face.
Why would I not?
Oh, look at that teamwork from the Dirty Dogs to the cover, hooking the leg. Not even close to a one.
Losing a few of the champions' teeth that dropped it, though, and now Ziggler. Rear chin lock. Trying to wear the big powerhouse down.
Stepping over the arm, great way to secure that bulldog right over the chin.
You know, nothing else. I think Dolph Ziggler should be proud of what Big E has accomplished. Dolph should be proud of what Drew McIntyre has done in his career.
This is what makes them special. Love or hate them is that ability to use their teamwork effectively, keeping Big E in the corner.
But Dolph never said he was not proud of Big E and Drew McIntyre. Dolph simply wanted to thank him.
And Dolph also said that McIntyre and Big E rode his coattails.
Look at the strength of Robert Roode.
With the body in bodyguard. Big Bob from the middle rope. Robert Roode about to strike from the middle rope. Oh no, nobody home, Biggie out of the way.
Right on his right knee, look how he's grabbing it. And that hurt him bad.
Here comes a Scottish warrior with a boot right between the eyes. McIntyre in a fighting mood, and Robert Roode is finding out firsthand.
Not many people can go toe-to-toe physically with Drew McIntyre. And that's why.
Here comes Dolph Ziggler back into the fray.
Get ready, Dolph.
There goes Dolph.
2-on-1 makes it any easier. Usually he's motivated. Usually he's fired up. He's even more so tonight. Oh!
You talking about Big Bob, Jimmy?
You're talking about Big D, but now he's out of the ring.
Yeah, Big Bob is in control now. Oh!
Super kick to the face of Drew McIntyre. Dirty Dog's doing well.
Let's see how many niggas I can knock off before the Raw come back on. Niggas got chairs and barrels and shit. I'm gonna tell y'all who we need to knock off first, that big bitch. Man, we got them done. What a way. Put my head. Man, what is do that, bro?
What is it?
Might not get to a safe one until I find this Kawhi ass.
The elevator. I take us to one of something.
Can I save it here? Can't even save it. Shit.
Well, the elevator, one of something.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe we find one. I find. Oh, wow, I feel like it's about to be another fight. Yep.
Let's get this over with.
And I called it. And we fighting him. And we fighting him. Alright.
Calm down.
And we fighting that dude I told you we might fight at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But it still might not be the end just yet.
I fight. I state.
Athletes that are hungry to show up.
Already halfway over there. You come out here.
Very competitive tag team match. Drew McIntyre and Big E versus the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And Drew McIntyre almost counted out during the break. Here's why.
Dolph Ziggler lying in wait. Robert Roode had the official's attention at the moment. Did not bode well for Drew McIntyre. But once again, Ziggler and Roode in complete complete control because there's no substitute for tag
Look, I might have to
chemistry.
this,
Big E and Drew McIntyre maybe not understand, but they're more concerned with one-upmanship to this point.
Get a point there. There you go. Ruben has support. Big tag team champions on Raw, SmackDown, and right now, Drew McIntyre, who continues to fight to try to give his new team an alliance with Big E a chance.
Right now, it's all about B-I-G-B-O-B-R-O-O-D-E. McIntyre just took that bomb out and himself. Both men desperately need to make a tag.
And Vasco just hurt him. It seems as much as well Ruben.
Goes in. But so's Big E.
Dolph's gonna take flight again.
Now suplex going for a run. There it is again.
Oh, overhead. And Big E with the trifecta.
Puts him with through the ring. The WWE champion is rolling. This I can do without. I love it every time.
The champ is on the move.
Big E.
A man that size getting that kind of air. He might be the crowd being behind him as well.
He all fired up and for good reason right now. Looking to put an end to Ziggler right now.
Taylor wisely went in the eyes. The official didn't see it.
Thinking big aiming. Able to get it done.
Sit down.
Spike through the canvas. Laying up Scotty over.
Oh, and Big Bob in the nick of time saves the matchup for his team.
Robert Roode a little dazed and confused with trying to get rid of Big E. Big E has other plans. It's about to get worse.
Incoming! Oh no! Roode stops E dead in his tracks with a knee. 6 oh! This could be over. This will do it.
The last minute Drew McIntyre saving the WWE champion.
Roode now sends McIntyre to the outside.
We're looking to follow through now from the apron. It gets caught.
Reverses directions.
How many superstars could pull off a move like that?
Well, don't do it from behind, shoulders down.
Not enough. Big E able to sidestep the super kick. That's right. Oh, Ziggler.
My goodness.
The straps are down and the end is near.
Big E ready to put it home?
And McIntyre tagged himself in.
Earlier for you, these two trying to one up each other.
Drew McIntyre's a legal man, like it or not. Claymore right to the chin. Laying up 1, 2, 3. It's Drew McIntyre.
After the first time out, as a team, Big E,
the WWE champion, Big E, and Drew McIntyre.
It's a little nod, like, okay.
Uh-oh, Roode wants more. You're gonna get more.
Oh, big ending, face down. A little nod to Drew McIntyre. All right, I see what you did there. I'm ready for you.
Look at this.
Nothing so bad. Crown Jewel, you and me. So, I'll see you.
Wow. Big E has accepted McIntyre's challenge. Will it be made official for Crown Jewel WWE Championship on the line? Big E defended against the former two-time WWE champion. This will be huge.
I sure hope we see this match. But the entire WWE Universe will love to see this match.
I can't wait to see it right now. Will we see the Crown Jewel? That's the question.
I hope so.
I heard you want to continue the Guardian of the Draft. So that's news to me. Maybe that's bad. Excuse me. So.
Gotcha! Now, how you want to do this? Just give it up. Oh, yeah!
you again. Hey, Commander! I told you it was going to be exciting. Did you drop it to Monday Night Raw? Who's always on the champion who never runs from any challenge.
For the first time ever on Monday Night Raw, the Queen Charlotte Flair, the Raw Women's Champion, one-on-one with Bianca Belair tonight. Talk about new additions to Monday Night Raw. Now a part of the Red Team, Kevin Owens.
Talk about talent, you talk about excitement, you talk about energy. Kevin Owens has all of it. And not just that, but
let's talk about what Kevin Owens doesn't have. Kevin Owens doesn't have moves like The Miz. And unfortunately, Miz has already danced tonight on Dancing with the Stars with BT Style here on Raw. And I missed The Miz.
but we can support him.
I need him back.
So all you have to do is text Miz to 21523. Vote for support the WWE family.
He stays on Dancing with the Stars. That means Miz doesn't come back to Raw. That means we have to deal with more of the KO show.
Guess what? Oh, no.
You're the worst.
Hey, what are you guys doing out here?
There's a creepy man in a white mask, and he keeps trying to play hide and seek with us. And oh, look, there it is.
Your old boyfriend, Alan. Did he so bother with 3-year-old someone? Alan admits.
Reasons he's denying them was because he
You need a paternity test. Here's how to contact us. Grab your phone and text the letter DNA to 22854.
More than 5,000 people died in workplace accidents in 2019 alone. Thomas J. Henry handles serious workplace accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Call today. Thomas J. Henry is available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Lately, it felt like something's missing. Together is better. Find your together in person or online at Gateway Church.
So this is our life and the Father of Judgment. Or continue. I want to thank all of my guests for joining us. Everyone out there, be still. Telling you right now, okay, this is what we're going to do. All right, Jasmine, okay? We got the DNA test right here. We have laminated it, and I am going to send it to you. All right? For you to analyze it. All right? Mike.
I will carry it.
You're a happy guy.
Yeah, I'm very excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always wanted to start, and this is my first shot since getting paralyzed and everything, so, like, you know, it's great.
Well, guess what? You all go on Facebook and announce to the world, okay?
And tell me to tell doctor that tells you you should have, baby. Make sure you take them to puppy.
For sure, whenever I get it, you know,
that doctor, I know you so much. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you for making this possible, man. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, Mike. We'll be back right after.
Where's the I'm sorry? You ain't saying that.
Hey, Santana. Santana.
This is what I want.
This is
Where's the sorry?
Santana.
Where's the sorry?
Santana. Look at that smile. He's a happy man.
I just want I'm sorry. Because we shouldn't even have been.
Go ahead, Alan. Tell her you're sorry.
Why should I say I'm sorry? You hurt me.
Oh, Lord.
That's a so
I thought
We should never have that conversation.
There you go. And I'm happy. We'll be back right after this. It's a teen mom who says she was tricked on Tinder.
I'm sorry. Because we should. I'm gonna do it right.
Okay.
6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Santana, let me ask you. Santana, let me ask you. Santana, let me ask you. If the clubs close at 2:30 and you're coming home at 5 or 6, are you out at the diner? Are you out at breakfast? Where are you going?
It ain't a club. We're staying outside and we party outside because we don't close too early. That's what we do.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And I give you the option to come out with me.
Hey, a working man can.
Alan. We
had the same dinner, and I'm glad that you got the father of the other child.
That's what I want to talk about. What happened about that when you found out that you weren't the father of the older child?
I was devastated more, but I was the only one that she knew as father. I would never turn my back on her.
You look on her like your daughter, right?
Yes.
Like she's your daughter.
And I'll apologize to you for that.
And nothing would never change that. But she's doing the same routine.
I thought you forgave her.
He begged me for it, but he did. Clearly.
I forgave her. It's gonna always be that way.
Today tells that he did not forgive me.
So you think
she had a baby with another man.
You didn't have these doubts, but when we got the DNA, mine was already born when we got our last DNA. So why you didn't deny your man?
Did you tell Santana that you would keep the first DNA test private and you told your family about it?
I didn't tell her that.
I didn't
tell her.
You didn't tell it, and you would just keep it between you and her?
Oh, you ran to your nanny.
No, I never.
To your nanny.
And it took your father so bad, Mark. I had to get out of his fucking bed.
I got to hear from my friend that you done went out and told all of our people.
Let's talk about the way he looked, Mark.
Okay, how does it look?
Not like me.
Well, she says it looks like her father.
He don't look like me.
Just like my dad. He looks just like my dad.
You don't have my hair.
She says around 4 now in the books, Monday Night Raw picking up the Street Profits and Finn Balor, the Viking Raiders and Ricochet headed to Friday Night SmackDown. What a night. What an incredible night. An incredible night with an incredible team coming
She says he talks just like you.
Look, boy, you don't have a head, you don't have a Michael Jackson nose. All my kids have that.
If this is not your child, what is going to happen, Alan?
Stop here, take my bags and go.
This is child. Ain't no deal.
I can't do it anymore, boy.
I got the answer right here.
Too much that time.
Read them.
It's a
I
last
go
drop.
ahead and let them know.
Wow, you're pretty
And
confident.
I'm gonna apologize when you
Better hope
you
this
being
is
there.
fake.
I want to
Better hope this
apologize
is
because when
fake.
you went in public and told them running away yours, you go back in public and tell them you got a DNA.
Okay,
99%.
here we go. Santana, here we go. In the case of 3-year-old London, Alan, you are the father.
I do, just like I knew. Now, go tell your baby that. Go tell your baby that. Get up the seat. Look at it. Is boom, stop, and pound to anyone on Monday Night Raw.
Rhea and Nikki may not have reached their peak just yet, but they have reached a peak, that being the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. But the champs have a tall task in front of them. In a matter of minutes, the former champions, Natalya and Tamina, look to knock off the current champ. The titles are on the line. Next on Monday Night Raw.
Is back, and he's got his sights set on Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship. And Brock Lesnar walks in. At Crown Jewel Reigns. This could be one of the greatest matches in history for WWE for the Universal Championship. Crown Jewel.
I need a voting coach class, please.
Like, yeah, like, and like, she tells me everything, like, she told me she liked me. So
She liked you?
Yeah, she told me she liked me too. So,
You said she liked me. Well, yeah, you're right.
oh yeah.
But she likes you.
Yeah, she likes me. Yeah, she
wow.
did.
But you still got to pay the full price.
Sometimes, like, I told her for the restaurant, she gives me food.
Yeah.
You know, I love that about her, but her price, everything, she's a good talker, you know.
Yeah.
So I call feelings for her. The only thing about it is they gotta tell us, and then I gotta tell her boyfriend.
Oh, she's got a boyfriend. Oh, so while you've been flirting with her, she tells you, I got a boyfriend. But she still flirts back with you, right?
Yeah, I know it too.
Oh, you know it. Well, isn't that kind of like a guide code that says,
Well, Jerry, I'm kind of looking out for me,
Yes.
I feel like I don't owe nobody no loyalty right now, so I look out for me.
You like
For me first.
Yeah.
After she gave me, like, I told her how depressed I was, and she looked over for me, and then she gave me a kiss. So we kissed and stuff, and then she took me back. Well, I took her back to my house, and then that's when she just started giving me, like, sexy looks and stuff, and she started giving me fries. Like, she just started dipping them in the ketchup.
So she brings her work home with her, doesn't she?
Yeah. And she bought it that day. Look, she dipping the fries, dipping the ketchup, and I was just like, oh. So we ended up having sex. So
You did. Yeah. How often has this happened?
I was just once.
Just the one time.
Yeah,
But now you want to see her again.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about her, like, thinking about her every day.
Well, you're here to tell him that, right? Oh, he now knows. He's backstage watching.
Yeah, I heard.
Your father's reality show.
Yeah, I heard, right? Yeah,
SmackDown?
Good to say going to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's good. He's on Raw.
And somebody else is going to SmackDown, but
Wednesday night at 9 on
yeah,
Heat. Extreme on last season on
I got the pictures on my phone. What I'm gonna do is, since it's almost time, I'm just gonna go over there, click over there, repause it, repause it, and pause it back. So I won't turn my game off while I'm in the middle of that game. All right, there. Yeah. All right.
Introducing the champions, the team of Nikki, ASH, and Rhea.
You know, I get the pictures on the WWE thing. Who's going to the show? I go screenshot them just so I can have them so when I get ready to do my game.
Tamina and Natalya to become WWE Women's Tag Team Champions several weeks back.
Which I gotta keep my WWE 2K20 updated. 2K22 ain't coming out until fucking March next year.
Tag team titles because I believe they severely underestimated what Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH could do.
I completely agree with you. Jimmy used the phrase a trap fight earlier tonight. I think that Natalya and Tamina got caught.
I got to talk to Natalya earlier tonight. She said she's never been more motivated in her life to win a match. And I believe, as experienced as she is, she's taking this very personally.
Right now, Nikki ASH coming out of the gate strong, trying to push the pace to her advantage. It shows you both respect that Nikki.
But I told you though. I told you Becky was going to Raw.
I don't think Nikki.
And I told you Seth Rollins was gonna fall egg.
Competitor now.
Oh shit! Okay. Shayna Baszler with the SmackDown.
As experienced.
Kevin Owens on Raw. Okay. Oh! Yeah. Oh hell, they got a bad bitch right here. Coming from NXT. Xia Li. AJ Styles and all my shit. They stay on Raw. Oh hell, they got a bad bitch right there. Yeah, look. Shayna Baszler on SmackDown now. That's good. Been on Raw a long time too.
Beautiful stuff by Nikki ASH. Got a sleeper locked in.
3 properties on Raw now.
The
Viking Raiders went to Raw. They went to SmackDown. Oh shit! Finn Balor on Raw. It was Finn Balor on Raw and Street Profits on Raw. And Ricochet. Ricochet on SmackDown. Okay. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna send you pictures of my friend.
You're right, that's the same
She watched.
reversal that Nikki ASH used, but here comes the
Yeah, she can't watch it though. She working from home, and her husband and the kids watch TV in the living room. While she working. So I told her I sent her the pictures. So I told her I sent her the pictures you got drafted.
She's aggressive.
Cause she was like, Corey, I know you in here. You my number one. You my number one on wrestling. You keep me updated.
To be the women's tag team champions.
Talk about them being overlooked by the story, especially of Nikki.
This is another kid girl. Somebody I've been talking to on her. One of my friends who's been on Kick already.
Nobody home.
I still talk to the other girl though.
I think to this team, look at that.
She just haven't been on.
Or the light suplex expertly executed, but Tamina breaks up the fall. And look at her dragging Natalya to their own corner. That is great strategy.
Well, I'm kind of happy for Kevin Owens going to Raw. He won't have to worry about Corbin messing with him no more.
From the top, BZ boom, zap, kapow, whatever it was close enough. I think there was a snick in there. All of the comic book sounds, I just heard it once. Now we're gonna hear this. Riptide!
Oh, she nails the riptide. Didn't go for the cover. Interesting choice here, a little teamwork.
I think I'm gonna go drop it. I think I'm gonna go put everybody on their shoulders now.
Delivery here.
And get it out the way.
Yeah. The shoulders of Ripley.
Yeah.
Oh, slash. 1, 2, 3. Here are your winners and still the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Rhea Ripley and almost a superhero, Nikki A.S.A.
Obviously, Natalia upset with the outcome. Still, women's tag team champions Nikki A.S.H. and Rhea Ripley.
Natalia is upset. Someone else has the right to be upset. That's right. Goldberg, because he attacked on his son.
Of course, you're referencing, Jimmy, what went down at SummerSlam 2 months ago in Las Vegas. This is after the match that was stopped due to Goldberg's injury, rendering him unable to compete. Goldberg's son, Cage, would attempt to come to his father's aid and instead incur the wrath of the Almighty before over 50,000 members of the WWE Universe. Lashley was unleashed. It lit the fuse in Goldberg, and Goldberg has been a man on a mission since SummerSlam. Understandably so, Goldberg has been stewing for months.
I promise you, I have promised my family, I have promised you, Goldberg will have this pitch. Face to face, they're probably laughing. Before that, it's been unpredictable draft so far tonight, and it continues next.
I can go kick some of their asses down right quick. I can kick some of you guys' asses right quick. Oh, shit. I can kick some of these boot ass niggas. Yeah, take this bitch. Take some of these boys. Oh, Kawhi. I got it. Never mind. Say. Thanks. Alright, cool. Now I can live my game ready.